So what that means, if we look at a profile view of a head, so let's say this is the profile view of the head. One thing notice I like to do, I like to draw this line here, is that neck muscle, sternocleidomastoid muscle, that help me to, several things. Well, on the profile, it helped me to help me to find the back of my neck. See, you see how the front of the neck, it's easier, but easier to find. All we need to do is to see how much span of a chin that we have, right? And that distance usually is not that far. You only got that little bit of distance. But to find the back of a neck, there's a lot of ground you have to, to cover to figure it out. So, anytime if that's the case, I know I need something else to assist me. And in this case, like I said, I can, once I know where my ear is, and I know that muscles, it comes right below it and right behind it. And this is going to connect right to my, my pit of the neck, my collarbone, and that's also where the beginning of my center line of my body starts. So you get the whole. This is sternal. So you get this whole connections taking to your body. So everything gonna feel all, have a good flow, good flow to each part. So it's not just like a head and the neck and the body. They feel kind of just isolated by themselves. So once I have this, I can probably use this muscle to help me to find the back where the back of the neck is. Right? And then the back of the neck sits high, front of the neck sits low. Again, this is my collarbone right here. What fills in this between my neck and my collarbone, all this is my trapezius muscle. Like my muscle help me to lift out my shoulder girdle. Make sure know where that the jawbone ends, because everything below that is going to be the bottom plane of the jaw, and this part usually confuse people because it's really subtle and you don't really see the connections. Really hard to see the connection to the neck. Obviously, there has to be a plane from here connect to the neck, and it's somewhat against the triangle shape here. Also, you can see a triangle shape underneath my chin when we do a deeper view like this. But you have to able to visualize that. You have to able to or practice. If you don't practice, that's where the plane is, right? From the side of the cheek go down to the bottom of the jaw. And that's also is a plane that often will receive reflected light. If I'm wearing a bright orange t-shirt, that plane is going to be receiving the orange light. And if you don't know where that plane is, like I said, it's not gonna look right. So remember that cheekbones coming out about like that 45 degree. So normally you're gonna see, I'm pretty sure you will see this. right? That's the zygomatic arch. Let's pretend the light source comes from behind. So everything that's gonna be dropped into the shadow in the front of the face. Let me just block this whole thing in. And you can see that's our cheekbones. You can see this on some of our models too. I think the one that the guy drew from the last lesson, you can really see that where that cheekbone. This is where it attached onto the onto the face. Here's the edge. This part is the part that attached to the face, and the corner right here, that's this portion right here. Okay, and so you can see. Remember this since this section right here that attached to the face, it also merged to your mouth. So your whole jaw bones right here. And this is part that kind of fused into the muzzle. So here's your teeth. This portion goes forward, fused into the muzzle. So you got the side plane, right? Side plane, and you got the front plane. That's what right here. So you can see how the bone structure really relates to what you see on of the models, and then this the surface texture that you see. So let's explore some different views of the skull, and you can see how this this proportion of the skull is like, and how that affect to the the actual face. 3/4 view. You can think of a sphere and take a slice of a sphere, so you get this flat view, and then you get the front view. I took that from Andrew Loomis. If you guys don't know Andrew Loomis is, you should check out his Heads and Handbook, and that's what he did. Take his so you got that sphere shape of the cranium, and we can see the other thing we want to know is important is that the skull also has a triangle kind of shape on the profile, even a 3/4. What that means that the widest point of this on the head is from chin to the back end of the cranium. So no matter what, you still want to capture that shapes and the structures. So I need to do is that's why sometimes sphere doesn't quite work that well. I have to maybe drag back a little bit and then bring in like this. So overall, I feel like again you get that diagonal relationship. And that's what the mastery process, that little bump that sits. That give us the end of the cranium. Okay, so this is that plane drops into the to the this is the eyebrow. This is the the eye socket. Get a sense of how to draw this eye socket here. Practice so you can know how wide and how big this eye socket should be. So help you to later on, and help you visualize that plane as a single a simple plane of the eye socket, which eye socket plane, which is going to turn into that parallel box like this. I'm gonna kind of speed this up a little bit. So we talk about, here's the tempo line, right? The corner. Tempo line, this is gonna be soft, this is gonna be firm, all this is gonna drop to our side plane. I also said the tempo line is gonna end right where the bottom eye socket, and if you remember, the bottom eye socket lines out to the top of cheekbones. So this is gonna swing back like this. The bottom of the nose lines out to the bottom of the cheekbones, 45 degrees. Connected the inner upper corner to the lower outer corner. That's gonna give me where that corner of my cheekbones. And then when we get to the side, this bone is gonna rise up like this. I also talk about all the features gonna rise forward, protrude forward. My muzzle. Connect this, fuse this into my muzzles. Jaw sits right below the zygomatic arch. Your ear sits about right behind here, and that point right is about halfway of the craniums. So you take it halfway right here and bring it down. So that's right where about where the ear is gonna sit, and that's important. And they're gonna sit, about where the eyebrow line. The ear gonna sit about where the eyebrow line to the nose and the nose. So that's where the ear going to be sitting right here. And then the jaw is going to come below and in front of the ear. See how that the three-quarter view of the skull, where we still get our perspective, we still get our structure, right?